yeah, if you have any questions about the details of the internship, please feel free to ask right away. Okay, so please put your questions in the chat box, and when it's time for Q&A, we would talk about them. Okay, so one more information is that this webinar is being recorded. Uh, so we, if you don't want your voice to be heard, you can just use the chat. Or if you don't want your name to be heard, you can just use the chat. But yeah, we are recording the webinar so that others who are unable to attend can watch afterwards and they can learn about the internship. Okay, so the internship coming by the 24th of August is the NGS Fundamentals internship. Okay, so the internship is basically everything around next generation sequencing. And next generation sequencing, like we already always announce, is the fundamental or the most basic or the bedrock of modern bioinformatics, life science, and basically everything that is being done in life sciences right now requires a form of sequence at any point, either DNA sequence, RNA sequence. So it's important that you start on this foundation in your bioinformatics journey. And that's why we are starting with this particular theme. Okay, so in the internship, we will equip you. So our goal at AgBio is to equip you with life science training, is to equip life scientists like you either at any career path, at any career stage rather, with modern technology skills and opportunities. So apart from just equipping you, we would also be in the position to give you the kind of opportunities, or we'll be in the position to recommend you, position you for the best opportunities that are available in bioinformatics and data science in biomedical sciences in recent times. So this is our goal at AgBio. We want to make you the best candidate available for these positions in the world. And of course, the goal is for you to progress in your career. We're not just interested in you being suitable for any role, but the next best role available on the block. So I believe this is also part of your goals, and this is why you are here in the first place, or you're watching this. So and we are not just we don't just like saying words. We also have evidence to back it up, right? I mean, this is just a, how do I put it? It's the tip of the iceberg in the number of places where you can find our alumni. They are practically all over Europe and North America by now. I call myself also an alumni of ActBio, so I include my university here. They are also working for startups for biotech companies remotely from Nigeria or from wherever they are, and also on site. So yeah, we have had a lot of traction over the years. We've been 5 years now doing this, and yeah, we think we have been doing a good work for our people to be accepted competitively at extremely competitive positions. And we are very proud of this. We're always proud of our alumni. So, and now let's talk about the internship. So, the internship is a mix of everything. So, the central theme that we want to cover is next generation sequencing. We want to understand how to sequence, not how to sequence, how to analyze sequencing data. So you will not be doing the sequencing yourself because we cannot provide sequencing devices for everybody in the world, unfortunately. If you have ever had sequence experience or either practical experience or just project experience with sequencing devices, good, even better. Now it's time to analyze this data you generated from the sequence, and you can get the sequencing data online. I mean, there are lots of repositories in the world right now where you can get high quality DNA sequencing data for actual problems, actual diseases, actual health challenges. So this is what we're going to be doing. You're going to analyze, you're going to analyze, and you're going to make interesting things out of it. For example, one of our goals is to make sure that you have at minimum, a manuscript by the time you are finishing your internship with us. So so it's a mix of individual learning, because at the end of the day, you have to also sit down to learn yourself, right? Of course, we provide mentors, we provide advisors, we provide you with a team, we provide you with a research secretary as well. This is a new thing we are bringing on board. But then, apart from individual learning, you still have a team of like-minded people who are probably also in your skill level, and you guys can learn together. You can discuss together. You can discuss solutions together. You can discuss problems, challenges, the task we'll give you every week together. We would also provide learning resources as well, so you can also learn. I mean, I don't know if it's possible to binge watch the courses, but you have to probably do that on your own. But as a team altogether, it's important that you guys sit down and solve the task together. So this is part of our goal. Apart from just individual learning, you also learn how to work in a team. And this statement has also been a very key statement that we are able to confidently put. For example, if you are writing a recommendation letter for you. So if you're writing a recommendation letter for you, we can confidently say that you worked with diverse teams of international people all around the world. And basically, it's a credit to you in the end. Also, this internship is going to be 6 stages. In total, 6 weeks, right? But out of these 6 weeks, you use 4 to learn fully, and the remaining 2 weeks you use it to work on a final project. Now, the final projects will be coordinated by special mentors. They are also I'm currently working with them. You would learn exactly. They will be your guides, basically. They will push you. They would motivate you. They would encourage you. They would. I don't. So criticize in a positive way. Let's put it this way. They will criticize you in a positive way, but the end goal is to make you better. Is to make you smarter. Is to make you more data native, more data friendly, and you're able to. By the end of the internship, you're able to say, yes, I can do this. I can do that. I can do this. And of course, like we always say at ActBio, it's fully practice oriented. You are going to be doing less of theories, less of all the bullshit, all the paperworks. Nope, scratch that. You are going to sit down with your computer, you're going to code. Yeah, and we're going to take it from the basics, right? In this internship, we are covering 3 things. We are covering Born Again Shell, that's the scripting language. You then do whole genome sequencing, and then finally you end up with RNA sequencing. So yeah, all in all, it's a awesome package, and it's expected to take you from 0 to hero, basically, from beginner to let's say intermediate skill level. Okay, so yeah, and also we have round the clock team management, because we have managers that are kind of situated at different time zones in the world. Okay, so while you think you are sleeping, there is a mentor that is available to respond to you at that time. I'm not sure my camera is presenting well, but there is a mentor at that time that is able to talk to you directly. So it's around the clock thing. We have guys from the far extremes of, I don't want to say extremes, but as far as India on the time zone, and as early as United States. So it's such a broad spectrum of on the global time zone, and you should find something that works for you in all of this. Okay. If you have questions, also please don't forget to put it on the chat. We can respond immediately. Okay, you can respond immediately. So you can put your questions in the chat. It's absolutely fine, and we'll respond when it's time. So in this internship, we'll be covering the following learning tracks. We'll be talking about microbes. That's if you're in microbiology, we have something for you. If you've been following our LinkedIn pages, we have been sharing some of the project ideas that we'll be working on. I think microbes have not been released yet, but we will also be talking about molecular medicine. We'll be talking about public health and genomic epidemiology. One of the public health challenges in, let's say, tropical countries. So just I will just answer this question. Yeah, you can make a screenshot and share with your friends. That's good. Share with your friends. Don't take it alone to yourself. Try to share with your friends. Try to share with your colleagues as well. Also, microbes and viruses, molecular medicine. We try to tackle some really complex diseases. They call it rare diseases. We also try to do things around precision medicine. So we try to look at the genomes of multiple superpopulations around the world, and you try to understand how you can design things specific for specific populations. Let's say African population, Asian population, North American population, these kind of things. So public health and genomic epidemiology, this is mostly also like microbes and viruses, but it's more epidemiological. We are trying to track things. We are trying to collect data, analyze the data, and understand the trajectories of different, let's say, for example, drug resistance markers. So if you're interested in antimicrobial resistance and you want to use genomics as your tool, which is the standard tool these days, this is a very good starting point. It's also going to give you a lot of leverage, especially if you're trying to apply to modern public health programs around the world. Also, animal health and physiology. We've been accused severally that we do not cover the agriculture or the non-human side of things. So this year we are bringing in animal health and physiology. So we have projects where you would understand the behavior of dogs. If you are a dog aficionado, or maybe you can also bring in cats. We did not get so much data on cats, but yeah, dogs, we have something for you. Also, plant health, like I said, we are bringing in the non-human or non-microbial parts. So we will be talking about, we have a project specifically for African palm tree. Yeah. So there, as you can see, I'm African, and there seems to be a bias for African projects. But we are open to. We do a lot of projects. It's not only Africans. We do a lot of. Sometimes we even cover Americans. We don't know them, but we try to understand their genomes. The point is to build the skills. You can transfer these skills to other projects that you have in mind later on. And cancer biomarker discovery. So you can also. You can also work on detection of biomarkers for cancers, not necessarily cancers. So you can also transfer these skills to things like neurodegenerative diseases, cardiovascular diseases, and other forms of diseases that might be of interest to you. Okay. Before I get to ask your question, I should. Oops. I should talk about the financial implication of joining the internship. Just give me a minute. I will bring it up right now. Okay. Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, then before I just create an empty one. Yeah. So this is the financial cost of joining the internship. And then I'll put the second one, which is a sort of discount for you and your friends if you are able to form a quorum and decide to join the internship as a group. So if you are intending to join alone, we have a 50% discount in total for you, because the original price is 40, but we already start with a 50% discount for people. We try also to get some sort of funding for people, but it's never really enough in terms of because when you're working with this kind of genomic data sets, one genome is about 3 GB. So if you are going to do 100 genomes, for example, we have a project where we have to do 1,000 genomes. If you're going to work on 1,000 genomes, multiply 1,000 multiplied by 3. That's more than, in terms of gigabytes, that's about 3,000 gigabytes. You don't have 3,000 gigabytes on your personal computer. So we are going to provide infrastructure for you to be able to analyze this kind of computer. And this kind of infrastructures, they are, how do I put it? They are not cheap. So yeah, but then we consider the economic realities. Our goal is to ensure that you learn these skills, and we are making it very, very affordable and accessible to even students. Okay, so in general, no background is needed. You don't need any background knowledge as long as, but this is very tricky. So you need a form of background knowledge in the sense that you need to know biology. We don't. We are not going to explain what DNA is to you. We are not going to explain what gene, molecular biology, what is bacteria. We are not going to explain that to you. We are not going to explain what is a animal cell or human plant cell. No, but we believe, we assume that you already know what is biology at the very basic level. So, and you kind of have an advanced experience in terms of you are a university student or master student or PhD student or even postdoc. So, no background experience is needed, but there will be weekly mentorship call to discuss with your mentor. So you'll be assigned to mentors that would, you would have meeting notes where you have a secretary. It's like a research group. It's like a mini research group. So you have a meeting notes every week. You discuss with your mentor, and they discuss with you you do analysis together. They don't essentially teach because there's another platform for teaching. But if you have questions on the concept, if, for example, you don't understand what principal component analysis means, or you don't understand what a plot or a graph is telling you, or maybe you have an interesting plot, but you don't know how to best to interpret and extract the best information out of it. So they are also there to help you do all of this. So you also work with people all over the world. People meet people here, and maybe just I say this on the side, but it has been I've seen at least 2 or 3 times that this happened, where people also find love on the internship. So I'm not saying you should come for love, but if it happens, who am I to stop you? Also, uh, you complete publication worthy projects. To we give you a way to also structure this such that it is reportable. So if, for example, you are applying to a pharmaceutical company, or you're applying to a lab, you can just simply put your GitHub repository on the document on your CV, and they go there and they see the documentation, they see everything properly arranged, because we would enforce this. Okay, we would enforce all of this. Then you can be trusted, right? This is evidence, and they see the date since when you published this. It's been a long time. It's not like you just scouted something because you are rushing for the application. Okay, then you also have one-on-one troubleshooting meeting with your mentors. This you can arrange internally. So, like I said, you have access to biocomputing servers where you can actually code. So you need to build your computer, but your computer does not have to be like the biggest computer in the world. You just need an internet access. You just need internet access, and you're able to communicate with our own servers, and everything will be literally easy from there on. Also, the mentors will be supporting you for your first manuscript draft, okay? At least a draft. And they will ensure that this draft is at least the very minimum sent to a preprint server, okay? And then you get a certificate, of course. But this is always the least of our worries. This is always the least of our worries. However, if you and your friends, if you find 2 friends that you can pool resources together, you can pay $45 in total instead of paying the entire 60, and then you can join the internship for less. Okay, so feel free, if you have any questions, write to us on our email. Yeah, I can also just put it here. Contact @arc.com. Yeah, so feel free to write to us on our email, and I'm happy to take any questions now. I'm already seeing a few questions on the chat. Okay, so Puluyi said, are we privileged to screenshot the PowerPoint? Yeah, feel free. Feel free. Share with your friends, share with your colleagues, share with people you think would benefit from this information so they can also join. Because it's also good if you kind of already know this person and you join the internship together and you guys can work together. At the day and the night, you can plan together in person and you just move faster than others. What's the relationship between metagenomics and bioinformatics? So anything, I can explain this in a simple way. Metagenomics is basically, hold on, I see someone playing with my screen. I just quickly correct that. So there's someone. How do I control the permissions? Anyways, hold on. So did I stop sharing? No. Okay. So yeah, disable annotations. So in summary, hold on, I clear all of this. Yeah, so metagenomics is basically collecting environmental samples and sequencing them, right? You generate a sequence in the end. But in the end, after generating the sequence, you need to analyze the sequences. So bioinformatics is the tool you use to analyze the sequences. So bioinformatics covers most any application of biology. If you can have plants, you can have animals, you can have microbes, you can have viruses, virology. So it's like saying virology and bioinformatics, or saying microbiology and bioinformatics. Of course, metagenomics is more of microbiology, right? But it's just this parallel, right? Bioinformatics is a tool, just like molecular biology is a tool that you can use to investigate different genes and genetic properties. Bioinformatics is also a tool that you can use to analyze any form of sequencing data you have, or any form of biological data at that level, right? So, yeah, I hope I answered your question. So, no form of background knowledge whatsoever is needed apart from basic. I wouldn't even say basic biology knowledge. I would say university level biology. So, because we are starting from scratch, I don't know if you read, if you're on our LinkedIn page, if you're following us on LinkedIn, we released a welcome note back to the new ArcBio because we kind of rebranded everything at ArcBio. And rebranding not in the sense of logo, but in the sense of what we stand for. So we want to have a kind of, so in the next cohort that we'll be doing, you need to have some background knowledge. But for the first one, you don't need background knowledge because it's kind of covering the essential fundamentals. So it's highly basic. Of course, you will do interesting projects, and by interesting projects, it can be complex a little bit. It will take more time, but it's basically the same thing you've been doing. It's just, let's say, times 1,000. You are doing the same project you've been doing, but you're just doing it 1,000 times more now, right? Don't worry, you would get there, and you would also be able to write scripts that can make you do the same. You can do exactly the same thing you did one time. You can do it 1,000 times. That's the power of bioinformatics. So it's the same input, just more outputs with the help of bioinformatics. And with more outputs, you can probably find interesting patterns that you can put in the manuscripts. Okay. I hope I answered your question. Hey, Adewale, yeah, thank you. Thank you for a great introduction section. I have a few questions. What is the total duration of the internship? It is 6 months. Sorry, 6 weeks. What are the means by which an international student pay the fee? Yeah, PayPal is there, and then there is Stripe. We also have Wise, that's TransferWise. We are quite not confident about this TransferWise, but I think a few people have tried it and it works. Yeah, and it works. So, what are the means by which? Yeah, so PayPal works, and then Stripe also works. As long as you have your card, it can make the payment for you. Okay. Is there a time schedule for the online class or we attend? I won't. So This is why we try to have. So, by the way, so I hope I answered your question, DT. If you still have any further question, you can respond. So, Poli asked a question again, and is saying, I don't know, he or she is saying, is there a time schedule? So, this is why we try to have a how do I call it? A spectrum of time zones. So, if you might even be in Nigeria, and you may not be able to work with a mentor from Nigeria, right? For it's just an example. You may be able, because your sleeping time is probably when you are able to, or maybe in the evenings when you are able to focus. But we'll probably have a mentor from the US whose working time coincides with the time you're able to talk. And if this mentor schedules his or her time zone or time slots around this period, then you can join this mentor, so to speak. I don't know if you get my point. So basically, there's a little bit of flexibility, but there's no flexibility. There's flexibility in the sense of you can fit your plan to join a specific mentor. And at the same time, you can also fit your plan to, uh, you have to kind of respect the mentor's time, right? Because if the mentor says he or she is available now, you also have to be available now, right? And I hope it makes sense to you. If it's confusing, you can ask me again. Oh, okay. Akintola is asking who's interested in pulling resources together. I mean, you can ask your colleagues in class as well. Maybe they could be interested. Um, okay. Any further questions? You can also use the microphone if you want to ask a direct question. Okay. If there are no direct questions, then we have about 2 more minutes. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Aditi. And we would just like to say thank you, everybody, for joining the meeting. Again, if you have any further questions, please write to us here. Okay, we are always active and able to respond to you. Maybe not in the night, but yeah, there's always someone waiting to respond to your messages. Okay, then. It's been a nice discussion. I had a very nice discussion with you guys. We would also share the recordings with you later on. It will be in your emails. But yeah, happy to always answer your questions. Please feel free to recommend us to your friends that might be also interested, maybe in pulling resources together with you, or interested in that this program might be interesting for. They might be interested in learning. Okay, so please, we would appreciate it. We'll be happy. If someone recommends you, if someone tells us that you recommended them, we'll probably give you a shout out someday on LinkedIn, or we'll probably send some random gifts to you. Okay. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, and have a nice weekend ahead. Bye for now.